I want to get to our top story this morning. Of course, that is CrowdStrike and that global IT outage that has rocked just about every industry. We're talking media companies, we're talking logistics companies. Airlines have been grounded. Widespread impact right now. We continue to look at this situation and its impact on the markets. I've mentioned markets are lower across the board right now. We do have some good news about this quote-unquote glitch. We're hearing from CrowdStrike today. They say it was not a cyber attack. Again, they say it was not a cyber attack, and they say they have issued a fix. So we're waiting to see the impact of that fix and how it's going to work out. Right now, we're looking at shares of CrowdStrike down more than 9%. But keep in mind, in the pre-market, these shares, they were down almost as much as 20%. So, in a sense, a rebound when it comes to CrowdStrike. Right now, we want to go to halftime committee member Bill Baruch, who owns CrowdStrike, and he's making some moves. Bill, good afternoon. What's going on?
The situation is a disaster, absolutely. And but I do appreciate the transparency of the CEO getting out there, talking to Kramer this morning, as well as other networks. And I think that's important to speak and be transparent about the event. Is this the last time we're going to see it within the space? Probably not. I think we're going to see something like this happen down the road, maybe another company. It doesn't have to be CrowdStrike. So, yeah, it's a disaster, and there's going to be potentially legal issues and claims that come from it. But me, as a portfolio manager and trader, the way I look at things, clients come to me to be in position advantageously in the market. So new cash that's been coming in over the last couple of months have been sort of very advantageously looking at certain sectors and certain names that we own. CrowdStrike was one that we had not added to new money for clients that have brought new monies or new accounts. I'm using this opportunity here today to get that up to allocation. In our stock bucket, it's now just outside the top 10, given that it's fallen back here today. But we own it with about a 2.5% allocation in our stock bucket. So I plan on continuing to allocate to that name here today and looking at it as an opportunity. With that said, 270, 275 is a big level. I wouldn't be too scared if it gets below there. We could see another event that follows news-wise over the next week. But I'm watching that as a technical level of support that it responded to in the overnight trading, too.
So, Bill, again, you're saying you're going to add this for your clients right now, looking at it as a buying opportunity, very similar to what we're hearing from Rosenblatt today on CrowdStrike, saying in part the global tech outage is creating a compelling buying opportunity for CrowdStrike investors. They're saying it's a chance to get a leading cybersecurity company on a discount. I do want to ask you, though, are you concerned that after this incident there may be some type of government intervention and perhaps there might be something that leads to the business that CrowdStrike has being dispersed among some other companies?
Listen, I don't want to start to jump to conclusions on that. I don't think that's going to be the case. I think this one incident, I think they're going to, there's going to be potentially those legal issues. But what I'm taking from here is look how widespread their reach is. So, on one hand, yeah, this is a disaster. On the other hand, I mean, look how big in this company is, as you mentioned, would there be government intervention? I don't think that's going to be the case. But when we look at the trajectory of ARR, reoccurring revenues here, I think that this is something here that highlights why they had such a trajectory. It doesn't change the bullish case. And if anything, I've been talking to some people in the space that own the name as well, and one thing that everybody had conclusion: this could cause for more spending. I don't think we're going to see less spending in cybersecurity. We could see more spending in the aftermath. So I think, again, this is a buying opportunity. Every single day that I go home and don't sell the names and portfolios that we currently have, I'm essentially rebuying them the next day. I look at this as an opportunity, again, for fresh monies that have come in that are not up to allocation. And I've been waiting for that. We've been a little negative, the broader market, over the last, since that CPI run up. So we've been cautiously using this pullback to pick out names that we want to own. And absolutely, CrowdStrike's on top of our list here today.
All right, Bill Baruch saying this is a buying opportunity. Buying shares of CrowdStrike. Again, shares are down 9% right now. They were down more than 20% at one point in the pre-market. Bill Baruch, thank you very much. I want to turn to all of you. I know there's some cybersecurity holdings. Siege, Snipe, you have some. Before we get to that, what do you think about the thesis here from Bill that this is actually a buying opportunity? Rob, do you see it the same way?
Well, I think it's a buying opportunity in the space for sure. This is a space that's incredibly exciting, right?
CrowdStrike or cybersecurity stocks overall?
Cybersecurity stocks, cloud stock overall, right? Here's the thing, I've had many of opportunity over the years. I regret not owning CrowdStrike. I think anybody that's sitting up here and has had a chance to buy that would have regrets. I know George Kurtz very well. He's done a phenomenal job at running this business. I have no doubt that he will put a tourniquet on this and things will get back to normal. But it gets back to a place, Frank, but how much do you want to pay for this? And it just does not fit within our financial discipline models. They're a market leader in devices like mobile phones and PCs, and it's a highly scalable platform, but the valuation is significant, right? And when we look at what we want to own, we buy cheaper valuation with the same secular theme because it gives us that margin of safety in the event that we get this re-rating of very high multiple stocks. So we focused on Fortinet, we focused on Checkpoint, and these are businesses that have exemplary fundamental characteristics. And, you know, today may highlight the need to not only have cloud-based services, but also to have on-premise services. And, you know, who knows? I do think that this is going to end up being a time that you could buy it as long as the current market environment, which rewards fast-growing, high PE stocks. And remember, this company trades at 19 times sales, right? So it's an expensive business, deserves it. It's the belle of the ball.
All right, there we go. Jenny, I saw your eyes kind of perk up when we were talking about whether or not this is a buying opportunity. How do you view it? Again, stocks certainly pulled back in the pre-market, pulled back as much as 20% right now, down about 9%.
Yeah, so I think if you're buying it today, I think you're playing with fire. I think that there's way too much opacity for, like, I could never buy it here. I have no idea what's actually going to come out of this, and it's a big deal. It's a big screw up, and people are going to get fired. And by the way, you know what's happening around this time of year? Contracts are being signed. If I was a CrowdStrike client, I wouldn't be too psyched about re-signing a contract, but also I know that I have the upper hand, and I could probably squeeze them. When you're trading at 80 times earnings, or to Rob's point, 19 times sales, like, you've got no room for any error. And that goes back to Rob's comment about margin for safety, too. Like, there's no margin for safety. There's too much opacity here. This is just an interesting aside, but we have a client who's got a really cool job. He's a white hat hacker. So big firms hire him to go in and say, like, where are the risks in my network? Try and hack in. And he emailed us immediately. He's like, wow, this is so interesting. And the way he's talking about it, like, what we're seeing today is only the very, very tip of the iceberg in terms of what the real repercussions are going to be, both internally at CrowdStrike, externally from their clients, and from the industry overall. But he concludes his email with, all that being said, it sure gives me good ideas for a new exploit to write. Right, so this is really opening stuff up. Now, that goes back to your point, too. Maybe there's more security spending, but things are going to change because of this. Like, we have no idea how M&A is going to change. We have no idea how third-party stuff is going to change. Maybe there's a need for more disintermediation so that one company can't take down everything from airlines to banks to FedEx to, like, even our business. We use InvestNet for our portfolio management system. That was offline for several hours.
Well, Jenny, I think that's what I was alluding to Rob.
Yeah.
I mean, are you concerned that there might be some intervention, possibly from the government after an incident of this size, that maybe companies have to spread out their cybersecurity vendors?
So.
Of course, we've had new SEC regulations mandating reporting, mandating expertise on boards. Before we get too deep in the weeds, I do want to come over to you, Jason, tonight.
Yep.
Do you agree? Is this a discount on a leading cybersecurity company? Shares down 9% during the regular session. Of course, it was down more before. Would you buy now? Is that something you would have your clients do?
So we don't own CrowdStrike. I mean, obviously, it's been a phenomenal stock. I think to Rob's point, it is an expensive stock. A lot of them are expensive. It's trading at 78 times forward. Palo Alto, which is the stock that we do own, is trading at 58 times. You know, I think that the big thing for me is at least it wasn't a nefarious act. It wasn't a cyber attack. But for it to be a content update and the world essentially be shut down in a matter of moments is very concerning. So I think to Jenny's point as well, I think there will be some restructuring. There potentially might be some government intervention. How does that weigh on the space? But what I will say on the other hand, I think spending does continue. Cyber is a real issue. It's a new wars that we fight today. So let's let the dust settle. I wouldn't be buying here unless.
And I'm going to tell you, that is one of the most durable areas of IT spend. You cannot, you ignore 100%. It at your own peril.
Right.